징기랍체 셰스소 구 진기 랍체 셰스소 구 Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Just enjoy the moment. So, sorry for those of you who are waiting just now. So I want to talk about what is the difference between a practicing Buddhist and a non-practicing Buddhist, right? And so what is this? What's the meaning between this label? So I thought I want to make a general explanation. So as I explained earlier on in the day, this morning, the Buddha was not Buddhist, and it is a very important fact to know that as a Buddhist, we should not end up and should not degrade Buddhism to become a religion. Okay? The situation is that many people have transformed Buddhism into a religious practice. And what is the meaning of religion? Or what is Buddhism? This we need to make a clear distinction. All religion have a God. All religion have a God. Buddhism, you are the God. Okay? When I'm saying God, what I'm saying is you are the super human, super divine being that is vastly different from in a religion where you are ordinary being trying to overcome all of your problems to become divine. But in Vajrayana Buddhism, you are a future Buddha, or you are a future Buddha, you are a divine being here, right now, in samsara, having a human experience, so that you know how to limitlessly benefit beings according to their needs, according to their nature, according to their needs. If you cannot understand that, then the condition of life is that everybody is just going through what everybody wants to do. Everybody is just going through what everybody feels that they believe what the religion should be, or what a practice should be, what a good person should be. And if things don't fall into particular categories, then you are a condemned person, you are a bad person, and you are going to hell, and you are going to suffer. In Vajrayana Buddhism, the whole point for each and every one of us to understand right now, as long as you make the decision to be free, that is the first step. You have the power to make a decision to be free. You have the power to make the decision to be empowered. We have always, since our past, always been conditioned in our mind that it is going to be out of our hands. Okay? We always have to get permission. We always have many things out of our hands, beyond our control, and this and that. So, like for example, the very important aspect of certain thing is like, everybody wants to get things done. So what's the purpose of life? is just to get things done. But is it what it's going to be all about? We just come to this human life just to do things, just to get things done, okay? Then there's really something, very big question mark. Then our life will be very meaningless. And our life is really truly going to be just like going through the motions. So, motivation is the power that we want to allow ourselves to be empowered with. Many people don't believe in the power of motivation. They only want to be allowed. They want to seek permission. They want to seek blessings. They want to seek many things so that they go about working within a perfect condition, a perfect mindset. But the reality is, who is there to tell us what you feel is your best? You know what is your best. You know what is suitable for you. But we ourselves don't want to do it because we don't want to be responsible. Buddha came and gave teaching after his enlightenment, taught by methods of teaching and not taught by methods of miracles. This is a very, very clear sign that we are recognized by Buddha himself as human beings to be intelligent, that we have wisdom and we have capability, and that we can empower and allow ourselves to grow so that we can make whatever decision we want to be, and not English word achieve is not good word. Many people like to say achieve enlightenment. Enlightenment is not to be achieved. It's like, enlightenment is very much like the air in the balloon and the air outside the balloon. The air in the soccer ball is the same air as the air outside. But the air in the soccer ball or in the car tire is very compressed. It's so compressed that so that we can feel that we can buff up, and we feel that we can have a false image, a false belief of our own enlightenment. So who can look more puffed up? Whoever can look more real, whoever can look more credible, and then we can have trust in that. That is unfortunately not the case. The true case, the true nature of Dhamma practice really is beyond the chanting, really is beyond the meditation, really is beyond the label of Buddhism. Right? It's okay, you all can come inside. Okay? So, don't be so tied up about the label of Buddhist, and that is the worst part. Okay? We have to remember Buddha was not Buddhist. Alright? Buddha was a practitioner, was a great being that came to reveal the truth. Like I said earlier on, the image that we must realign ourselves is that as a Buddhist, we must be truth seeker and not follower. Many of us want to be follower. Many of us are conditioned to be follower. But to become a researcher, to become a truth seeker, is how we can actually realize this inner peace and inner happiness. Then comes the situation where how do we manage to go about it? How do we practice? What is the purpose of all this practice, since everything is empty, since this and since that? As I explained earlier on, the whole purpose is not about fulfilling a purpose. The whole purpose of practicing Dharma is not about fulfilling purposes. It's not about coming here to do something. It's not about coming here to save anybody. Because the moment you want to save anybody, the moment you want to be a savior, you are here to drama. We should understand that the moment we label ourselves as a savior, then that means there's a dualistic mind. That means there's somebody to save. If you label yourself to be good, then there's somebody who is bad. If you label yourself to be wise, then somebody is going to be stupid, or somebody is going to be unintelligent. So, as a practitioner, our main aim is to be free from dualism. How to be free from it is not to push the other one, the what you don't like, away, but to embrace it. If you do not embrace, we start to say that this is you and this is me. You are different from me, I'm different from you. Then this is called, the greater the push, the greater the dualism, the greater the suffering, and the more confused we will be. So when it comes to real Dharma practices accordingly, the purpose of soap is to clean the dirt, okay, and the purpose of the dirt, we only see the purpose of soap is to clean the dirt. But why don't we see the purpose of the dirt is to neutralize the soap? Isn't it? Right? Yeah. If you only focus on perfecting the best soap, the right soap and everything, then it becomes an extremist practitioner. And then the soap will always be looking for dirt to clean. Right? Whereas for ourselves, when we practice Dharma, it's not about looking for something to clean. It's not about wanting to become the best soap, but rather embracing, accepting, okay? We have to embrace, we have to accept, and we also have to honestly, seriously, heart-feelingly, right? Not judge others, but to understand all beings are but the condition that they grew up with. Just like if you have the same ingredients to make wine, but you make wine in a glass bottle, you make wine, maybe rice wine in a glass bottle, rice wine in a clay jar, rice wine in the same jar in a hot weather, rice wine in a glass jar in a place where there's no sun, in a cooler place, all the result will turn out to be the same, turn out to be different, even though the ingredients are the same. The result is vastly different. So, when we practice Dharma, it should really become like a researcher. To research the Dharma, how it can benefit by ourselves, trying it out, by trying it out ourselves, by using the methods that we think and we feel or we learn, and then from these methods, use it to be of benefit for others. Now, when they say benefit for others, it always seems like I'm here to save others. But when they say benefit for others, it should not be the method of telling other people what to do. But when we say of benefiting others, is to understand that we allow other people to make their own decisions. Just as, like the whole of yesterday and today, thousands came for animal blessing, pet blessing, Dhamma teachings, Dhamma blessings, whatever. Nobody forced them to come. They made the decision to come. We embrace them all. Whether somebody had a pet bird, pet rat, pet different all kinds of rodents, this and that, we accept. Recite the same prayer. Somebody who came to get the animal blessing asked me, you recite the same prayer for the animal and for me? I said yes. Because he wanted to have a different prayer for him and a different prayer for his dog. And then I said, you love your dog? He said, yes, I love my dog. I said, you love your dog or you want your dog to love you? Because if you love your dog, you can have the same prayer as your dog. But if you want your dog to love you, then you're always looking for something that's different from you and your dog. Okay? I said, ultimately, you are your dog's guru. You start practicing to become a guru by being an owner of a pet. Right? If you have a pet goldfish, do you even bother to recite whatever religion you are, some prayer, some mantra for your pet goldfish, pet dog, something, pet cat? Or do you make use of the animal to make you feel good? There are many people who buy animals so that the animals that can make them feel good about themselves. As we can see yesterday, so many people, I saw for myself, there are so many of them. As human beings, they don't know how to look each other in the eye. They cannot communicate. But you can see they have so much love to their pet cat, or the pet dog. They carry the dog and the cat like that. Oh, my cat. Oh, my cat. So much love to the cat, or to the dog, or the cat. I was like thinking this, like quite ridiculous actually. Okay? It's ridiculous because they cannot, everything he wants, he get from his pet. Right? So he is taking instead of benefiting. So what is benefit? What is benefit? Benefit means through the experience. Now benefit in Vajrayana Buddhism is something that must be explained, because many people say, oh, benefit others means this. There's somebody to be benefited and somebody who is benefiting others. This duality. In real Dhamma practice, real benefit means both sides remove the ego and identity as each other having a true self, a true permanent self. Both remove. So both receive the benefit of mutual heart-to-heart connection. So if you love, I see some pet owners, they share the same food as their pet. Okay? And they genuinely care for the pet, and the pet genuinely can care for the owner, because within there is no more label of owner and pet, but becomes company for each other. The benefit is both, not just get the worldly benefit of company, worldly benefit of this, but really the benefit should be the understanding that the owner is now training to become somebody greater than himself. That he can actually be greater than himself, not to be selfish but care for another being. So, to be a great being, Sanskrit known Mahasattva, okay, and to be a greater than a great being, Buddhists call bodhisattva. Sattva means being, sentient being. Bodhi, Maha means great. A great being knows how to care for others greater than not just himself. A bodhisattva is a being who knows how to care for others for the purpose of letting all beings become enlightened. Okay? It's like if I have a knowledge or a wisdom, the purpose is not for me to make money out of you because I have knowledge or wisdom. The purpose is that I may give you the light and so that you can become the lamp yourself, and that all of us become a lamp, and that this whole place may become bright, and we just share the flame and teach other people how to have the flame, teach other people how to make the lantern, and so on and so forth, and so that it spreads. It's not about everybody wanting to receive some worldly benefit. So the whole idea about being Buddhist, for the sake of being Buddhist, needs to be abandoned. Must be abandoned. Okay? If not, instead of our mind become bigger and bigger and broader and more limitless, our mind becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. I must be good Buddhist, I must do chanting, I must be vegetarian, I must, I must this, I must that, so that I will become good, so that people will like me, so that people respect me, and this and that. All these things means you are spiraling down rather than you are floating to the sky. The whole idea that we all give to one another about wanting to be the right one, to be the good one, to become the correct one, and all these things is really, as what I say, as what we always teach, the 8 worldly dharma, the 8 worldly concerns. Right? As long as we become controlled by the 8 worldly dharma, even if you are practicing Buddhism, then it's like mixing poison with medicine. Okay? Mixing poison with medicine. Even though the medicine is good, even though the medicine is beneficial, but if we mix all this other idea of ego, of identity, of praise and blame, of wanting to be accepted, wanting to be loved, and this and that, wanting to receive gifts, or unhappy when people don't give you gifts and stuff like that, then all this naturally becomes a burden. Just like a hot air balloon not being able to fly high. So these burdens are what tires each and every one of us out. So if you want to fly, fly high. Just fly. Okay? Of course, to say that for each and every one of us to go and say, oh, I want to fly, but I cannot let go and this and that, that is where our homework starts. Like seeing ourselves internally. We all have our own internal struggles. Every single one of us, including you, including me. All of us. Okay? If you think that somebody is perfect and that somebody can be perfect and that somebody can be a living God, is you don't want to be responsible and you are trying to find somebody to take all our problems away. Okay? Our problems are specifically for us so that we can empathize, so that we can outgrow it, and so that we can, when we outgrow it, we empathize and we know how to be there for people who are facing the same situation in the future. We can only be there for them. We can only listen to them. We can only give a thinker or two, but that's it. We say too much, people will become reliant on you. If that person so decides not to think. If the person starts to think, that person will start to comment about you. Okay? Comment about your ideas and this and that. So the best thing is, do what Shakyamuni Buddha did. He just sit there and meditate and smile. Okay? Whatever, when people need something, they come to him and he dispense up to a certain point. Okay? He dispensed the medicine by telling you the name of the medicine and how you can do it. But it's up to you to go and get the herbs, and up to you to cook the herbs, up to you to eat the medicine, okay, on time, according to your diet, according to the timing, and according to how much you want to follow the suitable instructions. So it takes both hands. It really takes both hands to clap. It really takes for the so-called guru-disciple relationship. What does it really mean, and what is it supposed to mean? Is it supposed to be the way that people want to just get kowtow, put the hand at your feet and put over your head and the heart, and after that it's supposed to be that? Many things, like I said, are cultural. Even Chinese, even Indians, many people from different cultures have their own cultural way of praying, but that is just culture and respect. It is nothing to do with Buddhism. Okay? So what I want to say is this. If you say you want to be Buddhist, first you really have to rethink about how much do you really want to take charge of your own life. Okay? Take charge of your own life. I would say that is the real spirit for a Buddhist practitioner. The spirit for a Vajrayana Buddhist is to have bodhicitta. Okay, bodhicitta, the heart. Okay, the heart, citta means heart, bodhi means bodhisattva, or means the heart, the spirit of enlightenment. That you really want to become enlightened, because when you have wisdom and you have the light, you know how to benefit others limitlessly. Right now, we can only benefit those whom we can benefit because they are willing to accept. That's all. That's the bare fact of it. How much they want to accept is how much you can benefit, isn't it? Right? You know it, I know it. We got, for all the people here, through the years, some of you, 20 over years, 30 years, right? How many times do you really follow the instruction to understand there is no rules, but there is a precept to let you understand how you think, how you feel. Precepts are meant to let you think and reflect how to think, how to feel. Not a black and white line to say you cannot do this. It is not a commandment. Precepts are not a commandment. That's why in Mahayana, the things that are being taught in Hinayana and Theravada, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. But when it comes to Mahayana, okay, Theravada Buddhism, Hinayana Buddhism, you walk and the hunter asks you, where's the deer? Do you see a deer go by? Right? If you're Theravada, I don't tell lie. Buddha say I cannot tell lie. The deer is there. It's between you and the deer. And The deer die, that's the deer problem, It's not my karma. Right? Mahayana, we want to start to do something about it. Yes, I tell white lie. I can say the deer went the other way, or I say, what deer? I thought it was a bear. You understand? The whole idea is not about the black and the white. The whole idea is to understand and empathize with sentient beings and their suffering, and how we can really be there with them, not just for them. Right? There are many people who want to look for gurus because they want the guru to be with them. Right? But my honest suggestion for you is, if you need to find a guru to be with you, you are not looking for a guru, you are looking for a geisha. You are looking for a geisha. You're probably looking for a geisha or karaoke girl. Okay, you're paying money for somebody to look good with you, to feel good with you, or so you think lah. Okay? So, when we say practice Dharma, okay, today, Vesak Day, according to Singapore law, last month is Vesak Day, Malaysia. That is following the Indian calendar, Buddha Purnima, Indian calendar. Now follow Chinese calendar. Tibetan calendar, Sakadawa Vesak Day is on Sunday. So what is Vesak Day? Okay, what is Vesak Day? If we want to go by the dates and the calculation, you die. Anyway, I love it that Chinese Vesak Day always a little bit earlier than the Tibetans, because it's something for me to poke fun at the Tibetan lamas. They say, if I'm hungry for so long, the Chinese offer me first. Of course, I bless the Chinese first. The Chinese food more delicious, right? Yeah. The Tibetan toma is high cholesterol, not nice. Yeah, I always joke, right? So the whole idea is this: it's not about the day, it's not about the celebration, it's not about the so many things that what we are always cycled to believe is good, is right, is the way, and this and that. But to go beyond the common good, go beyond the common wrong, go beyond the right, but start to in touch with the heart. Start to be in touch with our heart. Start to be in touch with others' hearts. Let the heart feel one another. Okay? Then many things will take time. Many things will take time. Many things will take effort. Effort not to achieve what we want, but effort for us to understand this one important point. Many people like to pray for things to come to them, but prayers for things, or prayers will not happen whatever you pray for. I assure you this. My experience is things will only manifest according to what you are, but not what you want. Okay? There are people who always want to strike lottery. Just praying to strike lottery, you will not get it. Okay? But there are people who don't believe in lottery, who don't need lottery, who believe in honest ways of business and work. Wealth comes to them naturally because they are trustworthy. The things that they do, delivered in good quality and on time. And people are not stupid, people can feel. Okay? Only the people who believe, only the people who don't want, or there are people who are very scared, and therefore they like to listen to hearsay. So, I heard this, I heard this. all this, I heard this and this and that, only shows one thing, how frightened they are. So therefore, understand them anyway. There's no need to forgive. Okay? Imagine everybody going to a place of worship and asking God or Buddha to forgive them. For Buddha, for Avalokiteshvara, for Kuan Yin, for what's there to forgive? You're just being yourself. Imagine your dog coming to you, say, ask you for forgiveness for barking. You cannot forgive a dog for barking, you know. So when many people ask me for, please forgive me, what's there to forgive? You are at that level, and you are at that frequency, and you are like that. It's just you are like that. Yeah, so I say, you will not get what you pray for, but you will get what you are. So if you really want to better the lot of your condition and your existence, you really must, in the modern way of saying, invest in yourself. Invest in education, invest in your own time for your own self, whether it's meditation, whether it's exercise, whether it's study, whether it's whatever practice you want to do. This is the very, very important thing. Stop praying for things. Okay? Like I said, many people like to come. I know our Zambala very generous. Everybody like to pray to him for this. I also did advise, when you pray to Zambala, state why you need the money. Right? But I also want to say, what I want to say is this. There are many people who always want to pray for things, or like to pray for things. Like to pray, they always want this, they always want that, always want to have money, always pray for money, always pray for money. But what is the psychology of praying for things? Is that you are fixated in the state that you're always in lacking. I have no money, so I always pray for money. I always pray for money. I always pray because I have no money. And because you are used to being no money, or you are used to the idea that you have not enough money, how much money you have, you will not recognize it. And you will see many Chinese people, they burn a lot of Joss thing, right? Burn paper money, pray 9 days of Chinese New Year, Pai Ti Gong, wow, burn a lot. You know. If the God got a lot of money already, you imagine how heavy is the gold. No? One bullion of gold, 1 kilo, carry until no hand, no leg. Correct or not? Right? Then it's like, to me, it's like when I look at all those gold, what am I going to do with it? That gold have no value, no? If there's suddenly so much gold. It is our greed that want to make to have so much gold, so much offering, so that I want. Like I explained, it's not about, please don't, and it's not about, I want to pray for this, I want money, please bless me with money, please bless me with happiness, please bless me with wealth, but change it. I know you need money, so when you pray, can we change the word to say, let there be wealth? If I know you need love, can you change to say, let all beings love themselves and enjoy, and may there be love? Okay? So like this, the things that people pray for are always the external form that mask the inner pain and suffering of loneliness and emptiness, which I call it a lack. We are so used to this lack of this. So we always, I want to pray for this, I want to pray for this, I'm praying for this, I pray for my son, I pray for my daughter, I pray for my colleague, I pray for I'm always praying. Pray for this, pray for what? You understand? A battery don't self-charging battery, maybe like your car, doesn't ask you to keep on go to get it charged. If the alternator is fine and everything, and some cars charge their own battery, right? It's the same thing as a practitioner. You charge up your own energy in your own heart. It's not about always asking for things and asking. So the dangerous thing is we are always we have already gotten used to be asking for things. This is beyond all religion. You can be Christian and be asking God for things. You can be Muslim and asking God for things. You can be Hindu and asking God for things. You can be Buddhist and you are still asking Buddha and asking gurus for things. But let us transform that inner transformation. You need love, you have pain, let there be love. You have confusion, you pray, dedicate, and let there be light. Okay? There is misunderstanding and this and that. Okay? Let there be love. Okay? So this is what I'm honestly sharing with you. Please change the way you pray. Okay? If not, it's always about asking. And asking is never enough. The problem is about being used to asking. Right? And when you're always asking for something, they will always have a undesirable effect. The undesirable effect is these people who are always asking for something, do you know, can actually not perform well as a team. They are always people who always think about themselves. But if you pray and say, let there be love, let there be support, let there be light, let us have openness and wisdom, we know that there are differences, but we are willing to put aside the differences and join in what is common and what is purposeful. But if I always am asking for something, asking for blessings, asking for wealth, what is actually going to happen is, when I see other people and I see others, what is going to happen is this. I always see how this person is, how that person is, how that person is different from me, and how that person wants to be more outstanding than me. So worldly and Dharma, the reality is they are not together. And you have the choice to make a decision whether you want to be worldly or you want to be Dharma. But to be Dharma does not mean that you cannot use worldly means to benefit others. But when you choose to become worldly, you cannot benefit anybody with just the worldly ways, because all worldly ways will only lead to one thing: a confusion where you will choose between self or others. You only have $10. If I give you $3, I can only have 7. You will have 3, I will have 7. I only have $10. If I give you $7, I only have 3, you have 7. But when we are able to look beyond this, you say, I have $10, how much you have? Can we put together and share resource? You understand what I'm saying? When you have when you choose Dharma, you can honestly say, I only have $10. How much do you have? You have 12? Do you mind? Or maybe we all just put $8? Or no? And then let's come to a common goal. It's never when you choose Dharma, then it becomes greater than the idea. Idea. When people say idea, it's because I is there. The good idea, the I is there, and it's always only benefiting self. But when it's for common, that greater, then slowly But this will take time. This will take guts. This will take time. We go beyond I to togetherness. When you go beyond the I to togetherness, we go beyond that for a greater good, for a greater result. Okay? So what is the pin? So where is the telltale sign? The telltale sign is for the beings who are still at the level, they will always talk bad about other people. In the worldly level, beings in the worldly level have a telltale sign. It's always about talking bad about other people or choosing to be a victim of other people. Okay? So we have to recognize this. We always talk about problem come from other people. But are you the problem? Are you the problem? Are you the shit stirrer? Okay? So this is something that we need to reflect. Okay? Am I always talking bad about other people? Am I always thinking how other people have mistreated me? Am I always thinking how other people have not done enough for me? Right? So this is something that really we really need to reflect and feel. Then the next point is when we are able to go beyond. The telltale sign is when we meet one another, we always now talk about what is a better idea, what is a better method, what is the way that can really benefit others more. Okay? And you have your specialty, I have my specialty. Can we join forces? Then that is really something more special. That's out of the ordinary. And then it becomes something greater, something more, something beneficial. And then from here, things will change. Because those beings who don't choose Dharma and choose worldly, it always comes out to be, if things don't go according to my way, means I got problem. If not, I will get bad. If not, means somebody cursed me. If not, I got bad luck. Somebody put black magic on me. Some God is displeased with me. And there are many people who are like that. Or I didn't go and pray to my ancestors. I didn't do enough prayer. I didn't make enough offerings. God is upset with me. Buddha is upset with me. There's so many of it like that. So many of such situations and stories. Okay? Whether Buddhist or not. That's why I want to say, Buddhist is about taking refuge to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Not about fixated to the label of I am Buddhist. Because when I'm Buddhist, it really means I am no more. I am no more my own identity. I am a universalist. That is what Buddhism is about. Because it's really about putting the effort to become a truth seeker. Okay? Like I said, I have an American student ask me, how should a Buddhist look like? He thought I was joking when I said you should look like Gandalf. Gandalf is which show, is it? Lord of the Rings, right? I think this like a wizard and this and that. I said because he's big man, right? This American student, really bigger and taller and stronger than me, right? And very hairy, right? So I said, you don't cut your hair, so they like that. When you grow old, your hair will turn white and you look like Gandalf. He said, why Gandalf? I said, look at Gandalf. Isn't he wonderful? Isn't Gandalf wonderful? I said, as a Buddhist, you should be like him, because when it's time for him to take action, he is not asking people to go fight, but he is leading the team to go and face his own fears. Right? It's not asking people to go fight, but he is there at the front line. Okay? Means he take action He faced his own fears. Okay, he don't blame other people. He rouse his people. He support his people up, support his people, and that is what really being a Buddhist should be. And not sit down there and wait for other people, Business people, I recently learned this line from my business student. So my student say, Sifu Rinpoche, you must be like a business person. I say, what do you mean? Very easy. Build temple very easy. He said, huh? I say, why? Use other people's time and use other people's money. This is a rich person mindset. I said, oh, yes. I said, thank you. You use other people's time and use other people's money. I say, I'd rather use my heart, okay? Because my heart is the same as your heart. Okay? Because your heart and my heart is the same. Nobody's heart is different. Because everybody fears suffering, and everybody wants happiness. So I said, use my heart. Right? And along the way, there will be many people who will lose heart because they find it too painful to use their heart. That's why divorce happens. That's why self-cherishing happens. That's why business break up. That's why partnerships break up. That's why many things don't happen as accordingly to what the original motivation was. Because it was their choice to take a few steps back, take steps back. But right now is this. Right now is we as today on Vesak Day, I want you to know you are not reliant on blessings, external blessings, but reliant on your own chivalry. Reliant on your own chivalry to face your own fears. You are your greatest enemy, and we are our greatest enemy, and we are our greatest liar. We are also our own best friend. We just have to start to take note of whether it is more supportive or more destructive, like not wanting to wake up in the morning. Okay? There are many of us who would like to just lie there and laze. And then later on tell me, I have no time to do prayers. I have no time to look through my things. I got no time to this and that. It's because it's your choice. It is your choice. It is my choice when I gave my word to my guru. Every day this amount of things I will do. It is my choice. Because I accepted it. You understand? And it is my choice. And it is my promise that before I die, I will pass on these teachings to the students, okay, so that in my next life, when I come back, I will find you, I will hunt you down, I will find you, and I'll dig it back from you to receive the teaching back from it. Right? Like that. I always joke, right? When my guru in his previous life, he gave me so many teachings, and I said, for what? And one day my guru, he looked at me straight in the eye and he said, I will find you, I will hunt you down. It make it sound like a horror movie, It was so funny. Yeah, I will find you, I will hunt you down wherever you are, and I'll make sure you give it back to me. Yeah. So I thought it's very funny, right? My guru, when he was alive, many people thought he's just an ordinary monk, ordinary lama. But when he manifested passing away, the cremation, look at the unbelievable amount of relics and multiple colored relics and all the miracles that happen, right? Even his bones can change shape to Kuan Yin in one day. right, to Kuan Yin, even though he's Tibetan Buddhism, right? To the students who were very faithful to Chinese Kuan Yin, the bones became Kuan Yin 1 inch from one small things, right? His tongue couldn't be burned, and the Tara, Mother Tara, appeared from the tongue. The eyeball couldn't be burned, the heart couldn't be burned, right? So many things that is an inspiration for us to practice. All right? So thank you for coming, right? Thank you for coming to temple for Vesak Day. You made your own effort to come. I appreciate that. Right? Please love yourself, because nobody will know how to love you if you don't love yourself, because you'll be the most difficult person to love. That's why all the good gurus have bad reputations. I honestly tell you, all good gurus have bad reputations. Why? Because all the naughty disciples don't know how to be loved, and they always want the guru to become their guru. Make sense? It's a fact, you know. It's a fact. Okay? Many people say, oh, they got reputation and this and that. But really, we think back and we sit back and reflect. Why? Because of they didn't get what they want. And this comes from, now I say to you, I explain to you, please learn to love yourself by understanding what is it that you didn't want and what is it that you wanted but didn't get from your own childhood. It always starts from there, right? It always starts from there. For example, your parents didn't believe in sending you to school, especially if you are a woman. Right? I think, like for example, you know Ani Choki, right? Ani Dechen's parents sent her all the way to university. But Ani Choki in Malaysia, her parents said to her, you are a girl, I don't waste money sending you to school. I sell you away to uncle and then you go and work. So that was Ani Choki's life at that time. Right? So different people, we are same generation people, 40 plus, 50 years old, same generation people. That time, one had opportunity to go to university, the other one had no opportunity to even finish secondary school. So, but today, Ani Choki can read and can write by her own decision to learn by herself English and Chinese. Not perfect, but it's really good enough. Right? It's our own decision. So the power of your decision is the same power that you decide to take refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and you become a truth seeker for yourself. Not be a truth seeker to have fans. Okay? So this is where what I want to say. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a nice holiday. Tomorrow, sleep well, eat well, sleep well, and tomorrow don't wake up so early. Because I also don't want to wake up so early. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for the precious teaching. You may offer 3 prostrations to... Oh, that's okay. And today's auspicious day is Vesak Day, the holy day, so you may like to offer Thanksgiving offering to Rinpoche, as well as the Sanghas. So for those online, thank you for joining us for the precious teaching today, and thank you for your patience in waiting for the completion of the refuge ceremony before we commence the teaching today. So I would like to wish everyone a joyous and blissful Vesak Day. And I would also like to thank the following grand offering sponsors to make the Vesak Day celebration possible. And also like to give acknowledgement to the following generous sponsors and providers for the Vesak Day Celebration 2023 that made the Animal Blessing Night as well as today's Vesak Day celebration possible. So we're really grateful for everyone as well as Rinpoche, Sangala and all volunteers, all staff, all Sanghas participation and contribution, time, effort to this Vesak Day celebration. So thank you everyone. And those online, may also like to make Thanksgiving offerings as well through the online funds through the Teaching Choling website. And for those on site, we really rejoice. You can actually make the offerings to Rinpoche as well as the Sanghas now. And there will also be Sangha blessings later. So do join us outside the temple very soon. And thank you for joining us once again. And happy Vesak Day to everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.